besides the sky. I'm yeah. You may have noticed a little a few little changes in the setup here, and maybe might even have noticed the quality of the videos and sound, because yes, last time, let's see, last time, boop boop, last time we did get a new microphone. Yep. And I have been like rearranging everything to try to fit it all on my small desk, which has been a little bit challenging because it is in fact quite a small desk. But I have also figured out how to use connect the phone camera so that we get like this nice, like clear kind of bigger selfie image, which is great. I figured out some of the lightings as well, and we are totally going to talk about Magic the Gathering cards today. I'm going to present you guys with my favorite deck. As you might see from boop boop from this background here, we got the infamous Black Lotus, which I think this camera will actually pick it up super well if I switch to that. Ooh, maybe. Maybe. I think I could actually get a clearer image for you guys if you bear with me for a moment. We will go. I do maybe that. We will have to flip that. Now you're upside down. Flip that like that. Flip that, and then we'll pop out of this camera and pop into this one. And then maybe. Okay, yes and no. I have got some blinding lights happening here. Okay. This is slightly clearer. You can sort of see the text now. Let me think. I might have to flip this image. So we will flip it and reverse it. Let's see. There is an ability to flip. Apparently there's not an ability to flip. Oh, okay, apparently there isn't. That's... Because I want to set it up so that you guys get a nice clear view of these cards, because that's what this channel's all about, you know, having some nice clear cards. I'm just thinking if I boop, does that give you a clearer image of the card? Ooh, kind of. I think one of the issues might be that it is a holographic card. As you can see, if I tilt it just even a little bit, it starts like having colors artifacting left, right, and center. We'll pop me back there because that's a nice steady camera, so you don't get too dizzy. And sorry. I should turn that off while I'm doing this. We will get this camera back in this mode. Get this camera back in this mode. That light's gone a bit funny. I got the lighting perfect and then I moved it. I shouldn't have done that. I should not have moved it. It was perfect. Try to rest it against this thing. Yeah, that works. That works. Yeah, so we'll pop that camera on and that camera off. And that way, yeah, I mean, that's pretty clear, I guess. Not really. Can you guys see it? No. Let's pop me on this, that on that. And we will flip this around because let's see, we want to use this one because do it this way. Ooh, that kind of works. If I do it this way, no, I'll do it this way. I do this. Oops. Okay, I've lost the image. I've lost it. Okay, so because I want to get you guys to have like the best view of the actual card, so but what we need to do is we need to connect oh, we're getting close, chat. We are getting close to being able to show you these cards like really, really clearly. I don't know why that looks like it's fogged up. You know, maybe that's the physical, the lens needs some cleaning. Let's clean stuff. I did get some oh, almost. We're so close, chat. We're so close. We're really close to being able to get this like super clear for you guys, which Why did that? We were like so close, and then now we got like so far. And it's becoming very clear to me that what I need is like better, like high, like stands that can go higher up and further away and so forth. Just want to make sure I'm not going to push like everything off the table by doing this. Seriously, we got close and then we're going too far again. I don't understand why. Maybe I'm going too wide. Ultra wide? No? Manual focus? Auto focus. Manual focus. Uh-huh. No, autofocus is better. Ooh. Maybe. Okay. 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 That's pretty clear, right, chat? You can see it. Alright, so, yeah, this is Lotus Bloom. This is one of my favorite cards in the game. I don't know why on my actual phone screen it's looking like crazy blur, but it does appear to be coming up on stream really well. I am going to pop my head back in here, but I am going to not be like on top of the card. So I will pop myself over here, and the card, if I nudge it across. Oh, oh, and yeah, as you can see, it is foily. So when I tilt it, it's like all shiny and stuff. Now, this is not the millions and millions of dollars Lotus Bloom, obviously. I wish I had that. I wish it was like I'm manifesting it. Like the buzzword is manifesting, chat. Obviously there's one that's worth like millions and millions of dollars, but this one I got at, it had a special promo. I got it and it's printed here. I got it on the 23rd of September 2006. It is a Timespiral. It was at one of they were giving it out at one of their tournament events, as you can see, and it has this thing, this ability right here, has this ability called Suspend 3, which has a 0 mana cost. So rather than play this card from your hand, you pay 0, remove it from the game with 3 counters on it at the beginning of your upkeep, remove a time counter, and when you remove the last one, play without paying its mana cost. So yes, so this ability Suspend is a mechanic, is a game mechanic that I very, very, very much love. So this basically, you put this out at the very, very start of the game. And putting this out at the very, very start of the game does not chew through your mana at all. So you can, if you happen to get a red land out, you could suspend this card as well, right? For just 1 mana drop. And this is my favorite card. It's like in the, I've had this in my deck for like quite early, like when I started playing. It's called a Greater Gargadon. And it has a Suspend 10, which means, as it was explained in this card, that I only have to pay this mana cost down here. So don't have to pay this top mana cost, which as you can see is 10. 10 is a huge amount of mana right there, right? So it's like 9 colorless, 1 red if you play it directly from your hand. But this cool mechanic right here is it puts it in Suspend for 10 rounds, right? For only 1 mana cost. So that reduces this card from being a 10 mana cost to being only 1 mana, which means you can get this on the table in the first round. That's what makes this amazing. And then this one has like extra things you can do to then make it easier to get it out of the suspended mode. Because while it's in suspend mode, it cannot, like, you can't really do anything with it. Like, it can't attack, it can't block, it can't, like, you know, activate abilities or whatever. So, but as you can see, it has the abilities sacrifice an artifact, creature, or land, remove a time counter from the Greater Gargadon, play this ability only if the Greater Gargadon is suspended, right? And what you do is you keep removing these suspended tokens until the suspended tokens run out, and then this just gets played. This gets played without having to pay any extra mana costs. And as you can see, this is a 9/7. This is a big guy. He's a big elephant. He's a big guy. Elephant. Oop. Sorry, I peeked. I totally... Whoop. Okay, I hope that... because I did put a little bit of gain on the microphone, so I hope I'm not too loud. According to my monitoring things, I'm in that sweet spot of... peeking just out of the green into the yellow, and only when I'm kind of like yelling Gargadons does it like kind of peek out into the red there. So a little bit. Okay, I will keep my eye on that, but chat, let me know if I am being a little too loud. But I am like super happy that we now have like we can have more clearer images of the cards for you. Yeah, so this beautiful creature, which also is in Timespiral, and I love Timespiral because it lets you use all this suspend ability and basically mess with time, so that you can bring things that are like more expensive out in less turns. So it's a faster, speedier deck. As most things in Magic the Gathering, if something is made to be faster though, it does leave the player itself to be quite vulnerable to attacks. So it's still balanced. Like, it's still balanced. It just means that if you are playing these faster cards, you want to take out the other person before they get to set up like something really big and scary or something really clever. So the idea here is just like get things out as fast as possible. So this is Drora's Time Bug, and it's a cute little ant. I like ants. I mean, I know some people are kind of like bugs are creepy crawlies and they're not like... But I think ants are like the exception. Ants are like adorably cute, and this is actually a robotic one. This is an artifact creature, which means it was made by an artificer, and the artificer's name is Drora. And it is 2 colorless mana if you just want to play it, if you just want to like straight up play it. But it is a 1/2, so it's not very tough, not very attacky, but like it's chill. It's reasonable for the 2 mana cost here. It's very reasonable. Like you get 3 whole points of thing for like 1 thing, and then you get the ability. And the ability cost here is also very reasonable, that it's like a tap. Yeah. So choose a target permanent you control or suspend card you own. If that permanent or card has a time counter on it, you may remove a time counter from it or put another time counter on it. So, as I mentioned earlier, we get your Gargadon. Or you can even actually get this Lotus Blossom. It's unlikely that you'd like, because you'd get this out on the second turns, because it does take two mana to get it out. But once you do, there might still be like 1 counter left on this, and you just tap this one, and poof, you got this in play. And when you tap to sacrifice it, you add 3 of any mana to color to your mana pool. But where the time bug shines is that literally every turn you speed up this. So literally every turn the time bug taps and gives this brings it out like 1 suspend earlier, right? And if your opponent tries to target your time bug or try to kill it, in response you quickly just sacrifice it, because the time bug is a creature. Because the time bug is in fact a creature, you can just sacrifice it, and again it'll be like, so you've tapped it to bring the Gargadon out 1 turn earlier, and then you've sacrificed it to give it another turn earlier, and like you can actually just choose to do that. Like you can just choose to sacrifice it, and you don't have to wait for someone to target it. So that like automatically gets this out like 2 turns earlier. Or you could just get it out 1 turn earlier, and then like every round tap the time bug again to get it earlier. Okay, I am peeking a little bit. I'm peeking a little bit on the Razer mic. So I'm just gonna go here, and we'll bring the volume down a little bit. We'll bring it down a little bit. Let's see if that's better. We'll put it about there. That might actually be the sweet spot. Like I said, chat, please let me know. Let me know if you're like, ooh, it's a bit soft, or like, ooh, it's a little bit loud. Turn it down, right? But I mean, if I'm like in the yellow area, theoretically, that means that you guys have some control over the volumes on your end. I do think perhaps I can go a little bit louder, but also you don't want to like totally peak out, because like if it does, like it will just cut out instead of actually being a bit like just loud. So, ooh, it's when I laugh. Yeah, that goes a bit crazy when I laugh. Alright, again, I'll keep an eye on it, see if it does need to be taken down a little bit. But, you know, it's great that now, like, it's nice and clear what the actual cards are. And I think that will be really good for Dungeons and Dragons later as well, because I'm painting the figures. Now, I do actually have two types of this. So this one was the special edition one, but I also got pretty lucky with getting this one. As you can see, the art is like slightly different. The art is slightly different. And these are the lotus blooms. So they're not the black lotus. The black lotus is the one that's like ridiculously like, oh my gosh, it's like it's like worth millions. And I should have prepared one to show you. Now I also like this spirit loop. Enchanted creature you control. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage, you gain that much life. So can you imagine putting this, if you get the Greater Gargadon and then you get this spiral, this spirit loop on it, whenever enchanted creature deals damage, so you would gain 9 9 life in an attack. And it says deals damage, so like it doesn't even matter if that damage is dealt to the other creatures or to your straight to the other player. Yeah. And I have this Gauntlet of Power. This is like Thanos stuff, you know. Gauntlet of Power. And again, this is a Timespiral rare. As Gauntlet of Power comes into play, choose a color. Creatures of the chosen color get +1/+1. So your Gargadon is now a 9/8. No, it's a 10/8. Sorry. It's a 10/8, so it'll be like even bigger if you choose the color red, of course. And whenever a basic land is tapped for mana, the chosen color, its controller adds 1 mana of that color to his or her mana pool. So essentially it doubles the amount of mana. So if by 5th turn you if at any point this gets returned back to your hand, like if it goes to the graveyard back to your hand, and then you get Gauntlet of Power and you've got like 5 lands out on 5th turn, you can hard cast this right back into the game. So now this is kind of a fun card to do with the Suspend. It is from a different flight. I don't actually remember the name of the flight. By all means, if you know, let me know. So it's called Keldon Marauders. It is 2 mana right there, which is 1 colorless, 1 red. And it has this mechanic called Vanishing, which means this permanent comes into play with 2 time counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a time counter from it. When the last is removed, sacrifice it. So for 2 mana there, you get a 3/3. And when Keldon Marauders comes into play or leaves play, it deals 1 damage to target player, right? And so the reason why this is good with Gargadons, if you can tell, is that it comes out as a 3/3 and pings the other player for 1 damage. 2 turns later, it pings the other player for 1 damage as it gets sacrificed to your Gargadon. So this is Sudden Shock, which is sudden and shocking, and it's basically it's a 2 mana instant that, like, you know, shocks them for 2 damage. Shocks any target creature or player. So basically, if you see someone setting up with a 1/1 or like a time bug, you play this to like you play it to nope this. Yeah, it's pretty useful. And it is useful for like finishing off a player that's hanging on that one shiny hit point. It's also good for that. 1 or 2 shiny hit points. Yeah, so Cathedral Sanctifier is white, 1 snow. And when it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. Evil will soon be vanquished. What Innistrad most needs now is healing. It's a 1/1. It's a human cleric. It is a creature. Yeah. If I put it down here, you can see the whole card. Yeah. Yeah, again, this is, you know, a fun little 1 mana drop. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. And then, yeah, if it gets targeted by anything or dies, you just feed it to the Gargidon, and the Gargidon goes, nom 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 nom, and then comes out a little bit earlier. So, this one is a Goblin Arsonist. Goblin Arsonist. 1 mana, creature Goblin Shaman. As usual, yell out the flight for me. When Goblin Arsonist is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may have it deal 1 damage to target creature or player. And, you know, you're going to feed this to the Gargidon, which will put it in the graveyard. And thus, you'll get to ping them for 1 damage as you do that. And again, like 1 mana, you can pretty much do that all in 1 round if you do it all in the correct order. Now, Reverberate. Reverberate. 2 mana, red, mountains. And this one is a rare. It's a rare M11. It is an instant. Copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Which, I mean, yeah, it's like that sudden and shock is now sudden and shocking twice. Or I think I have lightning as well, and it's like lightning never strikes twice unless ta-da. So copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. It says, I am not indecisive, I just don't like to limit my options. Max Deep the Pyromancer. Yep. Okay, yeah, so this is another Lotus Bloom. This, Funeral Pyre. Oh, by the way, this one, you see how the border is sort of like this kind of like brownish? Like, this is the really old school stuff, right? You see how like the new stuff is this like nice kind of gray blue, this kind of grayish. Now, I have seen a few of the Lotus, remember I was saying that there is a, we just lost one of the lights. That doesn't matter. I was saying that there is a card that's worth millions and millions of dollars, which is the Black Lotus. But there are Black Lotus cards with this grey border floating around. And beware because the grey border ones are fake. The grey border, because you see how this is, Timespiral is quite a modern flight. Yeah, so if you see one with like, you know, this gray border, and one of the symbols that is like more of the modern ones, note that it's fake. So there's some fake ones going around. So fair warning, important stuff to warn you about. So the ones that are like this kind of old, actually, I really should, I think I will. I will go to a little bit of trouble to add a new source to actually show you how to tell. So like I should have prepared a little bit earlier. So the ones that are worth millions of dollars. How do I show you on screen? We'll go with this one. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So basically, as you can see here, now it doesn't even have a flight symbol here. It is a kind of dark brown, and not black brown, so dark brown. It does in fact say Black Lotus. It has this kind of artwork, and this, and yeah, it's 0 mana, 0 colorless mana, and it does have the artist's name right down the bottom here. This picture's not really doing it a lot of justice. As you can see, there's a, it's got that really old classic kind of design. So just check out all these little details, because this is what a real one looks like. Right. Now, there are ones that, and you can even just buy them off like they are like shamelessly selling the counterfeit cards on, I mean, the thing is they're saying that they list them as like novelty, so that's another thing. If you go ooh, interesting. I mean, I saw them before. Okay. That's interesting. Maybe they took it down. But they were blatantly selling them like on a few of the other dodgier stores. But they did say in the description, when you looked at the description, it was like prank card, or like it would say something like it would say something like that it's it would say something that would indicate that it was not an authentic one. But see, this one, when you see like, you know, this one's been properly like graded, and has the serial number and everything. Yeah, and you'll notice this white border. You'll notice this white border. You see the newer cards. The newer cards, you'll see the newer cards have the black border. See how their borders are black? Yeah. So that's like that's a way of being able to tell if the card is legit or not. And like, I mean, stuff like this, right, is clearly they used the old-fashioned like brown textured print here, but because the border is black, you know this is a reprint, right? So yeah, if you are buying one of these cards and thinking that, you know, it's a for the purposes of you want to get, like, you know, the really rare original cards that are actually like worth quite a bit, you want to be looking for white borders, right? That's like the dead set giveaway, because the black ones, even if it is like, you know, a old-fashioned card like this one, like this Funeral Pyre one, like when you see a black border, immediately you know it's a reprint. Yes, this is another Cathedral Sanctifier. As usual, I have 4 of my favorite cards in the deck. Good old Gargidons. Another Funeral Pyre. Draw time. Let's do the time bug again. It's just a jump to the left, and a step to the right. Put your hands on your hips and bring in your knees tight. That's pelvic thrust. Yeah. I most of the time whenever I play Drawer Time Bug, I do end up singing that song. Let's do the time bug again. Okay, so this is called Paradise Mantle, and honestly, I have not had the opportunity to test this out in this deck very much, but the concept's there. It is artifact equipment. Your equipped creature has tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So 1 mana to equipped and attach it to target creature you control, and equipped only as a sorcery, so you'll do it in your main phase and your end step. I mean, they're both called main phases, but I call the end step so that I remember that it is my second main phase. That it is my one last thing before, you know, it goes on to the other person. Yeah. It's great to put this on. Well, hold on. That's a tap. It doesn't untap. Quick creature has. I'm not sure which. I'm not sure which creature I was intending to put that on. I suppose it was like, because it's 1 mana of any color, it was like my backup plan if I got landlocked to 1 color, that I could go, oh, I need a white mana, then I do that, or if I needed a red. And here we go, Loxodon Warhammer. I do like Warhammers, but honestly I'm more of an axe girl. I love axes. I think axes are like so much the better weapon. I think, yeah, this looks like an uncommon. It's a bit hard to see on the camera, and I mean, honestly, it doesn't look very shiny of a silver, but it is it is actually supposed to be silver. It's a little bit grayish. Yeah, and as an artifact equipment, equipped creature gets a +3/+0, has trample, and has whenever this creature deals damage, you gain that much life. So, as I mentioned, imagine that. Imagine that on a big, bad Gargidon. Greater Gargidon. There are actually smaller Gargidons, so I really should say Greater Gargidon. So this is your 9/7, right? With this equipped, it becomes a 12/7. So it becomes even bigger. Even bigger, guys. Big, big, bad Gargidon. So big. Yep. Another Gargidon. And then this is an Ornithorpa. An Ornithorpa, which has flying. Regardless of the century plane or species, developing artificers never fail to invent the Ornithopter. Ornithopter. It does have flying. It is an artifact creature, and the beautiful thing is it's 0 mana. Yeah, that other thing that was like enchanted to give it mana. That's probably what I was thinking of putting this on. Yeah, this and Paradise Mantle mean that for 0 mana, 0 mana and 0 mana, like for nothing. And then of course there's like the equipped cost, which is 1 mana. This suddenly is like, you know, you can tap this creature to add 1 mana of color to your pool. So it's an Ornithopter. And like, you know, worst comes to worst, for 0 mana I have a sacrifice for my Gargidon to come out faster. Yeah. And has flying. Can't touch me. Yeah. Ornithopter. I try to read this out a little more mystical and cool. Regardless of the century, plane, or species, developing artificers never fail to invent the Ornithopter. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, basically another snowy plains. Another Goblin Arsonist. Those guys like setting things on fire. Yeah, if you put one of these guys in the graveyard from the battlefield, you may have it deal 1 target to creature player. I explained all that stuff earlier. Plains, more snow. Red mana, blue mana. Okay, red mana. Okay, another Cathedral Sanctifier. Squadron Hawk. It is a bird. It is a 2 mana, 1 colorless, 1 snowy white. It is a creature bird. It has flying. Obviously, it's a bird. When Squadron Hawk enters the battlefield, you may search your library for up to 3 cards named Squadron Hawk. Reveal them, put them in your hand, and then shuffle your library. So, yeah, this is a pretty cool little fetch card because that makes you find the other birds. So, it's 1/1. Pretty cheap to, like, get all the birds out, and thus you'll be able to start feeding them to the Gargidon. Or, I mean, you can enchant it for, like, more red manas and so forth. Nifty little card. Certainly prevents you from getting, like, you know, a handful of, like, just lands and then nothing else. Another, wait, do I have another? I do! I have both of them. I have 2. I think I just loved it so much I like made sure to buy another one. Or like I must have seen it on sale. It must have been a girl thing where it's just like, ah, it's on sale. Now, disintegrate. Now, I love this card. This is a very brutal card. This is because it is X mana, X colorless, and 1 red, right? X means any number of. Whatever number you can tap, that's what you pay. And whatever you do pay, disintegrate deals X damage to target creature or player. That creature can't be regenerated. This is... how brutal is that? Can't be regenerated this turn. If the creature would be put into the graveyard this turn, remove it from the game instead. This is like... it doesn't just kill. It's like... dead beyond dead. Like dead in a way you can't bring it back. This is such a great nope card that if there is any kind of creature that your opponent loves to play, that is driving you bonkers and that you are like not wanting anything to do with, you can nope it out of the game. Like, not just in the graveyard. So that annoying creature that keeps coming back from the graveyard, that can just be like, nope. Nope. No casting from the graveyard. Out of the game. Out. Removed from the game. Yeah. Look how brutal that artwork is. That reminds me of, like, you know, my favorite movie, The Terminator. When she goes to, like, the park and everyone's getting burned up by the killer robots. But yes, very brutal card. Very brutal. Sorry, there's a little smoosh on there. All clean. Yeah. Well, the Funeral Pyre, obviously reprint. Black borders, reprint. Oh, this little white is actually my my protector. The protector itself is white. The card itself, it actually has black borders. Another Squadron Hawk that you would summon to your hand. Now Tuk Tuk the Explorer. He is a rare, so you don't see him around much. He is a legendary creature goblin. We've been playing goblins a lot in my Dungeons and Dragons game, and it's been quite fun. It's an interesting mechanic that, like, if you're a goblin, if you fight something bigger than you get advantage. It's like, how come? I mean, like, everything's bigger than you know. And it's like, why are you better at fighting things that are bigger than you? I guess you go for the ankles, right? You go for the ankles. Anyway, this is a 3 mana, so 2 colorless, a 1 red. It is legendary creature with haste, so that means as soon as it gets out on the table, you can attacky. When it is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put a legendary 5/5 colorless goblin golem artifact creature token named Tuk Tuk the returned to the battlefield. Remade by Ildrazi magic, Tuk Tuk inspired an entire clan of misguided goblins. Yes. Obviously, when he's put into the graveyard, when you fed him to the Gargidon, nom, then he gets even bigger. Because, see, this is a 1/1, alright? So this is a 3 mana drop, gives you a 1/1 that turns into a 5/5 when you feed him to the Gargidon. How cool is that? He is legendary, which means you can only have one of him on the table in play at a time, but it just occurred to me, the idea is to feed him to the Gargidon, so I could actually have 4 of these in my deck. That might be a good idea. That might be a good idea. None more Keldon Marauders. Another Squadron Hawk. Another mountain. So chat, if you have any advice about some other cards that I might find fun to add to the deck, do let me know. I do keep with this deck a bunch of reserve cards, which are like the ones that like I'll occasionally swap out. So I do have some extra gauntlets of power. I do have a Mog War Marshal, and he is a 2 mana drop, which is 1 colorless, 1 mountain, and he echoes. Yeah, which is another mechanic. At the beginning of your upkeep of this, if this came under your control since the beginning of your last upkeep, sacrifice it unless you pay its echo cost. Which I obviously am never actually going to pay because I'm just going to feed it to a Gargudon, right? And when Mog Marshal comes into play or is put into the graveyard from play, you put a 1/1 red goblin creature into play. Again, like, he just kind of makes he speeds up the Gargudon. The Gargudon gets fed. And yeah, there's a bunch of like extra mountains, that I keep to tweak the deck whenever it's like, oh, I'm playing against someone who's like, you know, using more mana or whatever. So we've got a lot of repeats now. That's the Keldron Marauders, that's the Sudden and Shock, which is all sudden and shocking. Another Ornithopter. Another Goblin Arsonist. I'm noticing that you guys are just seeing keyboard at the moment, which, by the way, I kind of wanted to point out last time that, okay, so you can tell I'm a gamer because I've worn out the WASD keys right here, right? And then playing Overwatch, there's the E and the F. Although you do use Q and reload R from time to time, but obviously the E and the F get worn down, and the F key particularly pretty much only got worn down because I've been playing so much Palworld lately. That key gets used a lot in Palworld. And this is like, it wore down naturally. I put stickers on top to protect it and give it a little more life. Wore down through the stickers. Had to put new stickers on. Wore down through those stickers. And then it still like continued to wear down, and I'm thinking I need new stickers. Yeah, I need new keyboard stickers. Anywho, so this is another Paradise Mantle. We'll just go through the rest of this really quickly because they are repeats. This is another Cathedral. But I am noticing that all you're looking at right now is keyboard. So I might get like, you know, a nice mat or something to show off the cards on. The star of the show, Greater Gargudon, Loxodon Warhammer. So yeah, basically, as my title and thumbnails suggested, I did just really want to discuss this Suspend mechanic, which has been featured in the Timespiral. As you can see, the Gargudon is rare, but he's not that rare. I've got like 4 of them in this deck. And yeah, really, I actually really tend to play with rares because I find a little bit of like joy and smugness in like being able to use a cheap common to like to take people out. Hey Amelia Rose number 2. Yeah, hi, how are you? What's up? Thank you for joining the stream. I am just going through some Magic the Gathering cards. I hope I'm, as I mentioned earlier in stream, I hope I sound great because I am using the new Razer mic. And I've adjusted the... Oh, my day's been going great. My day has been going great. I did a little bit spot of shopping with my parents and had a nice cup of tea at the cafe. Always good to spend time with family. Yeah, and I'm just going through the cards today. of my favorite deck, which this is the big star. This is the Greater Gargadon, my pride and joy. I do have 4 of these guys in the deck as per standard tournament rules. And I was just talking about how I absolutely love this game mechanic Suspend, and why it is particularly good in this deck, and how to really optimize it. And this card did show up before, Reverberate. And again, it's a rare. It's a copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets. So it does make your sudden shocks double shocking. It does make your lightning strikes strike twice. So whenever someone's lightning doesn't strike twice, you can go, haha! Yes, it does. Yes, it does. For only 2 shiny red mana right there. Glossing over a bit of this because we seriously saw these before earlier, but I really love the artwork of this, that we didn't get to focus much on the artwork. The beautiful feathers there. Someday I might try to knit a cloak that's like that, with like these lovely purples and blues that are sort of, I'm not sure if they're leaves or feathers. What do you reckon? Do you reckon there are leaves or feathers? But as you can see, I've got this camera set up is like you can have a lot clearer view of the cards, and hopefully that means you'll have a better, clearer view of the figurines, which I've started painting. Which I paint on Mondays. On Mondays I do Dungeons and Dragons content, and yeah, as you can see, you can actually see quite clearly all this beautiful detail in these Pluto minis. I'm not sponsored by Pluto minis. I hope to be someday, and they were optimistic. They said, yeah, when you have like some more followers, by all means come talk to us. But I've been eager to like show off how detailed their models are, because they really are wonderfully modeled. And I have been warned by some people and given advice that, you know, I should stop giving like freebies of like mentioning brands without having sponsorship, in order to like, you know, in order to like, you know, get some proper sponsors. So I will stop doing that. It's a bad habit of mine, but I do like promoting like companies that, you know, make things that are actually helpful. So I mean, yeah. Hopefully that will come along soon. Oh, that's lovely that you do design for gamers and streamers. I will check out your work, but I do have to let you know that I do already have an artist working with me, and I do have a friend who was also doing some designs for me. But I will still check out your work, because I am planning on designing like a book cover for the novel that I have written that is still being edited, that I have been trying to like, as well as I've got like other art projects as well, but I do already have a couple of artists working for me, but I will check out your work. I will check out. So yep, Tuk Tuk the Explorer, I did mention him earlier. Turns out I do have 2 of him. It looks like I only have 2 of him, and I'm thinking he might actually be as rare as that. Because if he was less rare, I'd probably have more of him. In fact, I will have a look-see about that. Bink. Windows capture. Let's find Tuk Tuk, the Explorer. Not Dora the Explorer, Tuk Tuk the Explorer, which I believe Tuk Tuk came first. But, you know, correct me if I am wrong, chat. Collective knowledge is better knowledge. Okay. Okay. It looks like he's not too expensive at the moment. He's only a couple of dollars, so I might be doing a little bit of shopping later on. I'm gonna leave that tab up. We're gonna shimmy along here. I do enjoy shopping a little too much. Oh, yes, yes. I will follow you on Twitter. I am using my phone at the moment. Oh, that broke it. That broke it. Give me one moment. I need to turn that off. I will follow you back. Give me one moment. Okay. How do I find you? Amelia. Yes. There you go. There you go. Yep. Now, I have to figure out how to turn this back on. Did I try to turn it on and then back? Oh, off and then on again? Yeah, off and then on again. Here we go. Here we go. That should be there. Ta-da! Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, this integrate. I got this nice foily one. Foily ones are so good. It might be my project to get the entire deck foily. That could be fun. Another mountain. Important, but like, you know, common. Sudden and shock. Another sudden shock. So sudden and shocking. They are uncommon, but I haven't found it too hard to find them, so that's good. Another Gauntlet of Power Timespiral. I did explain the whole thing earlier. And Chandra Ablaze. Now this one, I only have the one in the deck. They are a planeswalker. They are like legendary. So this is a tier above rare. This is like super rare. But we will see how super rare that is. Let's check it out, chat. Let's check it out. Let's see. Chandra Ablaze. I do think the legendaries have a special rule that you can only have one in the deck, so let me check that as well. Okay, you can get her for a decent-ish price. About $8-ish. Okay, so rules for legendaries. Did I? No, I did not show you that at all. You guys didn't see anything. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Nothing ever above chat. Chat is super important. Always let chat sit on the top of the board. You guys are important to me. Alright. So, yeah, I did check out earlier. Chandra is about $7-ish. on the old eBay. That is in Aussie dollars. So yeah, if you're in America or Canada or Japan or India or any other country, yeah, you'd have to figure out the conversion. That is in my monies. So the legendary rules are: if a player controls 2 or more legendary permanents of the same name when state-based effects are checked, that player chooses one of those permanents and immediately puts the others into their owner's graveyard, without any player having an opportunity to respond. This does not destroy the other permanents, does not cause them to be sacrificed, and cannot be prevented by being indestructible or having regeneration. Okay. Yeah, so that's on the table, so it doesn't appear to prevent you from stacking the deck with them. Could be in play at the same time. There could only be one creature of the same name. Okay, so so I'm not imagining things. It used to be that you could only have one in the deck. But during Ice Age, they did change that. I should also look up the MTG symbols list, which because I would like to know, because sometimes I see a symbol and I'm like, what? That's not what I wanted. What did I click on? Okay. Oh, it looks like somebody made a... You know... That is super tiny. Celestial region. I should print this out. Then I could be like, then I could know things. Then I could be like, I don't know, because I pretty much only know Timespiral, to be honest. McDonald's. Fascinating. Team Rocket. Okay. Dark Explorer. Oh, okay. They did. These are all collabs. Because they did do collab things. So these are all special collabs. This isn't the latest list because I do have like some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and some Star Trek stuff that is like the latest, that is actually the latest kind of collabs. They've got a Wigglytuff, that is so cute. That is literally so cute. And they've got Sylveons. That is awesome. Yeah. I need to go back to safety. Those were particularly the Pokemon. Oh, so there's a lot, chat. There's a lot of different flights and series. Okay, no, that's not it. That's different. That's nothing to do with Magic the Gathering. But somebody did post this. Someone did post this. So 5th edition Tempest, Stronghold, Legions. This one is a beta revisited. I think this one's has Mirage. Yep. Mirage, I recognize some of these. Miradon, that I recognize that. I have a few cards with that. 5th edition Odyssey, Ice Age. I do have a few Ice Age ones. I have the Ice Age reprinted ones though. Judgment. Oh well, that makes sense. That's cool. Judgment. Minions. I remember there's something called Ravnica. So I mean, again, this is not all of the things. At some point, because yeah, 30 years of projects. Yeah, they've been around for a little while, chat. Little while. There's probably like someone's probably made like the ultimate list somewhere, which I'll probably research later on. I will keep the tab up so that I remember. I don't know why it's gone to Yahoo. I keep setting it to Google and then it goes there. But let's pop that back down there. Yeah, so cool. Again, Chandra Ablaze. She is a 6 mana, which is 4 colorless, 2 red. And she's a legendary. You discard a card. If a red card is discarded this way, Chandra Ablaze deals 4 damage to target creature or player, and you get a +1 to her number here. And then each if you spend 2, each player discards his or her hand and draws 3 cards. Very, very helpful if you happen to be empty-handed, which honestly with this deck happens very often because it has some sorceries and instant and 0 mana cost things. But what you want to do is you want to actually use this first ability to pump this up to 7 so that you can spend it to get cast any number of red instant and or sorcery cards from the graveyard without paying their mana costs. And this is great because what you can do is your suspended Gargidon, you can then sacrifice a bunch, so if your Gargidon gets sacrificed to the graveyard, you can then pull it back out. Or you can just like pull out all your little one mana, like your low level cards to sacrifice back to the Gargidon again. So yeah, Squadron Hawk and another Omnithopter. So this is my deck. This is my favorite deck. This is one I've been working on, and I want to perfect it. So if there are any real veterans of Magic the Gathering out there, please, if you have any like cards that you're like, you know what would be brilliant in this deck, you know what would make that Gargidon come out faster or be like flying or like other, you know, fun stuff, or like anything that would like buff it or actually help me summon the Gargidons to my hand or anything like that, let me know. Post what your favorite cards for that kind of thing is, and I will continue to curate and tweak and optimize this deck for tournaments, as well as, you know, just casual fun play. Like, I mean, they're cards, they're for fun, right? Yeah, so I have this deck, and this is a white Planeswalker ready to play 30 card deck. I tend to like playing red and white. I do think that I probably have a red one, like a red starter and a white starter, and I was thinking of mashing them together to like make the ultimate red-white starter. Ooh, okay. I have... Oh, that is a nice looking card that I just threw on the ground. I want to make sure I don't roll on it. Throw it on the ground. Throw it on the ground. Shh. A little shout out to Lonely Island. Okay, so this is a Pyromancer's Swath. It is a rare. It is an enchantment, and it is a foily. All things that I'm like, this might be worth a pretty penny. It is a 3 mana drop, which is good for mana economy. It's an instant or sorcery source you control would deal damage to a creature or player. It deals that much damage +2 to that creature or player instead. At the end of turn, discard your hand. Interesting. This is really good for like a red burn deck. At the end of turn, you discard your hand. So you'd want to like empty out all your spells, not hold on to a single thing. Pyromancer's Swath. Pyromancer's Swath. Okay, it's not really worth that much. I mean, $5 or $6, that's still like a premium price for a card. I mean, remember, this is a single piece of cardboard we're talking about. And look, mine's not mint. Mine is ever so slightly bent. And did I actually show you? No, I did not. We got a Windows capture. Nothing above chat. Yeah, so yeah, it's about $5-ish. I mean, oh, you can get them cheaper. Those ones are not foil though. Those ones are not foil. This one is foil. So this, yeah, about $5 or $6. Which is, I think is fairly normal. It's not, as I was explaining before, the crazy, like, Black Lotuses, which are going for hundreds, if not, like, millions. Seriously? That's PSA 10? That's crazy. It is a Japanese print. And it's looking like a reprint if it's got a black border, because I was mentioning earlier that your $1 million Black Lotuses will not have black borders. They will have white borders because the older generation of cards, like the original sets, were white bordered, had white borders. So that's how you tell that it's not your OG stuff. Your OG stuff will have white borders. Like this one. As you can see, this one, that's a PSA 10? That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, so look how much it's asking, which is roughly, this is roughly in, like, similar to US and kind of pricing. But yeah, definitely, like, remember, this is Australian monies. This is Australian monies. Not sure what the conversion is for you, wherever you are, but this XE, this is pretty accurate. This is a pretty accurate converter, currency converter. So xe.com, currency converter. So you can put whatever your monies is and put it on whatever, if you're like, yeah, US, or if you're Europe, British, like whatever currency you have, whatever currency you have, and then whatever amount it is in this currency, it will tell you what it is in that currency. And this is very accurate. XE converter. So again, if you want to, like, you know, buy and sell the cards, you can use that converter to, like, you know, figure out how much it is in your local amounts of monies. But yes, as I was mentioning earlier, how you tell is like the white borders. White borders means it is original, OG, early print. It is not a reprint. Reprints have black borders. Reprints will be worth a lot less. It has this like kind of brown marbled kind of effect here. It is 0 mana. It is this kind of artwork. Look at all this detailing. All this detailing. I mean, if you I mean, you'd examine, like, you know, it's easier to tell a counterfeit if you've seen an original, right? So, yeah, standard, like, you know, black printing, and the artist name is kind of in this kind of holographic kind of font. Not holographic, but you know what I mean. It's kind of like this 3D, like, embossed font. I think, yeah, embossed is probably the best way to describe this. But the important thing is, like, these nice clean white borders. You want this, like, very clean. I can actually see how this card is a PSA 10 because look at that centering. Look how beautiful that centering is, you know? That is, yes, very straight and very balanced centering right there. That is actually quite beautiful when you, like, really notice how centered that is. Yeah. And it does have, like, the classic backing, which, okay, let's go evolution of MTG backing design. Nope, they didn't just MTG back. because I can see. Would be good if somebody had some photos of like what the backs of the cards look like. Ah, here we go. This is what we want. So they considered having different color backs for, like, see, the collector's edition fake card backs were like very like blue pop. Yeah, so yeah, you want to make sure that they've got these like little dots, because I've seen, like I said, I've seen some fake ones that have like the actual symbols on here instead of the dots. Yeah, so I mean, so these are, so yeah, so these are real authentic Magic the Gathering cards. Make sure that your corners are like this sort of like red orange, kind of gold on this side, dark brown on that side, sort of stone colored, very very light kind of purple on the edges of the circle there. It says Deck Master. I will just pull out some. So yeah, you see, so if you see a card that looks different on the backing than this, like, then you know that like it's not the real deal. But this one, these are the real deal, so these are what they're supposed to look like. These are the ones that I like literally bought from the actual like at the Comic Cons from the actual like Magic the Gathering people. So that's what real cards look like. I might actually have some of the original stuff. How are we shooting for time? We're doing quite well for time. Although I'm getting a few messages from friends and things, so that kind of breaks it. I keep forgetting that kind of breaks it. Let's not do that. Let's pop that down there. And let's turn that off for a moment, because I am getting a few messages. I'm actually going to be on a film set tomorrow doing a documentary. Yeah, I'm okay. I realize that I need to reschedule a whole heap of stuff on Fridays, because my Fridays are getting kind of crazy. Hmm. Yeah. Schedules are moving around. Schedules are moving around. Let's recenter this. Okay, so we got that camera back, and we'll pop it back there. Ta-da. Just leave that there for now. I think we did go through some of these before. These cards are looking very familiar. Not all of them though. Not all of them are looking that familiar. I gotta stop saying I'm like addicted to saying I say it all the time. Dilly-umptum. Yeah. Ooh, another Suspend card. Suspend. It's called Rift Vault. The only reason why this one's not in my Gargadon deck is I do think for the amount of damage it does, 3 mana is a little bit pricey. So it's not that efficient. But like it is a 1 Suspend, right? It is a 1 Suspend, and then it deals 3 damage to target creature or player, and it is a sorcery. And so the fact that it's a sorcery as well is like it's not something I can sacrifice to the Gargadon, so I was just like, it doesn't quite have the synergy. Otherwise, like as a quick burn in a red burn deck, this would be quite effective, particularly if you do pay the Suspend instead of the hard cast. I call these hard casts. I don't know if that's an official term for it, but when you pay like the full mana cost for the card, I call it a hard cast. So yeah, what's that? Now this Pyromancer, this, I mean, it's still a rare foily, so I am going to put it in a nice sleeve and like take good care of it. I'm gonna put away my Gargadon deck right now. So that was all of the Gargadon deck that I've got at the moment. As I mentioned, if you all want to recommend a cooler card to add to the deck, please let me know. I am more than happy to like learn how to play the game better. And there's so many cards, guys. There's so many of them. I'm more than sure that even though I've played for quite a long time, there's probably hundreds, if not thousands of cards that I just haven't heard of before. I will pop this Pyromancer Swath in. I'll put it in the keep or worth money box. I'll put it in the keep section. Hold on. So I've got some dividers in here. I previously had this Thought Seize, which we found out was worth about $33, which is a decent price. It is a rare, and it is a sorcery. And this one seems like it's in really good nick. Like there is like absolutely no nicks in the border there. It is like your nice solid black. And I mean, I'm not seeing any flaws with the centering. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit hard to tell on camera. but the centering looks pretty good. I mean, if it's not a 10 centering, it's a 9, an 8 or a 9. Like, I mean, looking at it directly, I'm not seeing like one side is like more or less than the other. So I think it's actually pretty well centered. The top and the bottom, I mean, like, I'd expect that, like, if I got it properly graded, someone would use, like, an actual, like, ruler or laser or something to, like, you know, really measure the exact centering. But, I mean, it's looking pretty good to me. It looks pretty good to me. Like, I'm not seeing anything that stands out to me that's like, oh, they'd probably minus points for that. But, like, I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional. I'm just I'm just quite observant. And I mean, I have a vested interest in, like, oh, this is kind of worth something. So I'm popping it in the box, make sure I don't damage it. I have more ornithopters. I probably have a ton of these ornithopters, honestly. They seem like they're, like, everywhere. Everywhere, chat. Oh. I have a package. I have a package. Let's open the package. I think, yeah, we are, I mean, we got through a fair bit. There's still, like, tons and tons of cards to go through. And honestly, you know when you're like, I don't really even know where to start. Oh, I did have a starter deck, in red. So I do have a red one and I do have a white one. And I think in my mind, because I play red and white, so I do have a Chandra red Planeswalker one. And I do have this white one. And this white one, I haven't unboxed it yet. So I'm kind of like not sure if I broke the camera. I broke it. I gotta try turning it off and then on again. I gotta try turning it off and then on again. Oh, we're back. We back? We're back. Okay. Bloodfire Expert. Ifrit Monk. Looks quite awesome. +1/+1 till the end of turn. Okay. Yeah. I feel like opening a package right now. I'm just that's my vibe right now. So I'm gonna go to this mode, and be like, what was I thinking with this mode? Actually, let's go this mode, and instead of pointing it at the keyboard, I'm gonna try pointing it at me. Try to point this at me. Yeah. I need the stand to hold the thing. Hold the thing. Stay there, stand. Ooh. Hold the thing. Yeah, it holds the thing. Okay, so let's see what we got. Hey! Okay, so these are like, okay, because I was saying to chat the other day that I really like when things are USB, and I really hate when it's like batteries that I'll forget. Like, so these things, I feel like this was the wrong setup. This was entirely the wrong idea. I should pop that back there. That's upside down now. I've upside down. Sorry, I'm spinning you right round, like a record, baby. As you can see, my poor computer is like physically falling apart. I've loved it. I've loved it to the bitter end right there. So we'll put that back there. Let's not that. Let's do that. Bubble head. Let's do that, and let's do that. So this way, yeah, that's better. You guys can see this. So, yeah, this has a USB-C. Am I in? There. This has a USB-C port. This has a USB-C port. It's so weird. It's like forward, backwards. Okay, the backwards. USB-C port, so you can recharge these batteries. Yeah, so I got, and yeah, so it comes with these USB-C things, and the cool thing is it's like one A charging side to like 4 of the chargers, so that, yeah, basically I can recharge my any device that requires batteries. I can still charge with the USB, and thus now there is one flaw in my plan. I think there's only one flaw. Let me just double check. Are there other flaws in my plan? Are there other flaws in my plan? I'm fairly sure that I have a battery container. Like that I did think that through. Yes. Yes, I do. I have a battery container to keep the batteries in. So that part of the plan is working. The flaw in my plan, though, is I don't have a meter, like an ohm meter, to measure if the batteries are fully charged or not. So I actually have no idea whether they're fully charged or if I need to charge them. There is that flaw. I do have to fix that flaw. Are these supposed to... Okay, how many can I fit? They also came in these cute little like black cases as well, which is kind of cool. And to be honest, I don't know how to make this about like Magic the Gathering. This was just I needed batteries. And as I'm putting this in the actual box, I'm like, I did not think through like how many of which ones were meant to be in where. So I don't even know if I'm putting them in the right spots. I'm kind of wondering if more is better, like if I have more of these in here. Or maybe I should have just left them in the black cases. That was an option too, you know. That was indeed an option. Are they supposed to be in here, maybe? You know, I should... You know, I will bring up the Temu order, and then I'll know where they're supposed to be, because it says in the graphic. It says in the graphic. Okay, so that camera... Let's pop me on... here. We'll pop me on here. We'll go to the order. And we will see... We will be able to see the picture of this. What am I doing? I will add source. We will add this one. Again, nothing above chat. Chat, you are my number one. You are always on top. Okay. Ooh, okay, I'm starting to get a bit of maybe I have too many things open scenario going on here. So let's try to close these. No, we want the case. Yeah, we want the case. Chat. Double D's. Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah, so that would have been an organizer case. That's not the one I got. They've got like a bunch of plastic cases. That one. That's the one I've got. Okay, so you are meant to put the double A's in the top there and the triple A's in the corner here. And you are supposed to be able to put the other size ones here, the big D cells here, and those little square ones in the middle here. Okay, so I can put so I'll put the double A's in here. Yeah, I'm putting them in the wrong place, that's the problem. So I'll put those in the middle there, and these are supposed to be where they are. They are actually in the right place, they're just falling over for no reason. I think it's like I just haven't got them packed tightly enough, which means I need more of them. 1, 2, 3. I could probably squeeze another 3 on each side. Because it looks like they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've got 7. They've got 7 in this like little corner here. They've got 7 of the triple A's. I've got 8. So if I pack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, then it does. It totally packs it quite tightly. So yes, it does look like my problem is I need to have more of them to like support each other, which, you know, is not the best design in my humble opinion. But that way it does fit, and that way I should be able to fit like the other size batteries in around it, which at some point I will get. Meanwhile, well, the thing is, I just realized if I have this case, I also don't know what to do with, like, I mean, because I need to store obviously the charging cable part in there as well, which isn't a problem for the moment because there is space at the moment to pop that in there. But like if I got more batteries, then I won't have space to put the chargers in, like the charging cords in, which again appears to be a flaw in my plan. It is a bit tight to put the chargers in there as well, unless, nope, unless, does it fit? Is it in? No. Sort of. Maybe. Okay. Alright, well, that's okay for the time being. I'm not sure if I'll be able to fit any more batteries in there. But, as always, power. Infinite power. We love power. Power's good. And now I have a bunch of like little black battery boxes that I'm a little bit like, what do I even do with these? They are going to go in the power drawer for now. But I feel like I do need to revisit that and try to find a more permanent solution to these things. Yeah. Nope. There's cords everywhere. I do need to get some cord organizers. Yeah. I've got a fiery tempered time spiral. I've got a couple of fiery tempered time spirals. They actually came in the mail a little bit bent. And then I chucked them in the box and then they continued to be bent. So I don't know if you can see. They are fairly clearly warped. Like they're not sitting flat at all. Like if you can see they're not quite sitting flat. Which is why I mentioned in previous streams there's some guy on eBay that's selling like premium price for cards, but a lot of people are saying that like, you know, he's actually selling them like, you know, like well packaged and all that, so that makes sure you don't get one that's like bent out of shape. You can probably tell what drink this is, and I'm deeply addicted to it, but as I mentioned earlier in stream, no more freebies for sponsorships. We want paid sponsorships. Ooh. Yeah, I needed that caffeine boost just then. I keep forgetting that I wanted to show you guys this thing. Again, I'll have to reconnect the camera on the phone, which I finally figured out how to do. I finally figured it out, chat. So now we are able to see stuff down here. And nice and clear too. Look how clear that is. You can actually see all the texture and stuff on these coins that are 3D printed that I got from a wonderful Twi'lek who was promoting, if you can't tell, Star Wars things, and I got this cool coin from him. I bought this cool coin from him. Has R2D2, it has the droids on it. So it has R2D2 in the middle there, and then these two other droids. I don't remember the serial numbers of all three of all these droids. But R2D2, of course, is my number one hero. He is the true hero of Star Wars. The company is called Sold Out Swag. Oh, well. I was like, no more freebie sponsors that I'm not sponsored by, and I literally just promoted them. Literally just, I gotta stop it. Everyone's completely right. I should only say sponsored stuff when I'm actually being paid for it and sponsored. But yeah, I mean, I'm a big Star Wars fan. And I mean, this one was a misprint, so he literally gave it to me for free because he was just like, yeah, there was a little bit of a mishap with the printer, but it's the symbol of the dark side of the Imperial. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna lose picture. Sorry about that, chat. Just give me one moment. I gotta, again, deal with some messages and things. Yep. I did notice that people were not that interested in the Rubik's Cube segments, so I will probably not be continuing it, or if I do continue it, I will do it for only a few minutes. But I definitely on the Wednesdays will be continuing to just focus on the Power World stuff because that was getting quite a lot of attention. Apparently people really enjoyed the Power World portion because I clearly had figured out how to play computer games and even if I do say so myself, I seem to be quite good at the computer game playing part. Plus, I find that playing computer games is pretty chill, and watching people play computer games is great as well. Your diamonds. Remember to raid, fish, and collect your diamonds. I will just remind my guild that I am running and that I have gifted diamonds in the game for them. I need 15. I need this much power. Yeah. Meanwhile, I think I have a second Logitech camera thing here, and if I don't, I should have a second one. So I'll do that. So there's two of me. I'm multiplying. That wasn't the intention. The intention was, again, we'll bring that down here, and we will, boop, make me a bit more, here. Yes, that is better. That is much better. Okay, it looks like it's a bit of a quiet night on the thing, but that is because I also came in a little bit late on it. Oh, you need special invites for some of these things. I think it's always better if I host. I've always been better at hosting than I have been, like, been doing other things. What is this card? This is like, these are new designs as well. We will definitely go through a few other cards tonight. Okay, so this was... I went through this deck already, so I can pop that one away. In here. I can't count as the problem. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. So here. We have been through this one as well. We've been through the Mind Slivers deck. And that's the one I need to return. How am I gonna go about returning that deck? Alright. Did I do the thing? Yes and no. There are things I have not done, but I will do in the near future. But the important thing is that has the thing that's like time sensitive, the thing that like you have to do within a certain time frame, that has been taken care of. So I can go back to using this as a camera, which means this can come back on screen, and I will go a bit tinier chat. Back on here. You know, I should note that down. Okay, so there are a couple of things I need to note to do, which I will write on a post-it, which I am sure I have a post-it lying around somewhere. I may have completely lied. I don't have a post-it lying around. What kind of a weirdo doesn't have a post-it lying? I'm an idiot. How do I not have a post-it lying around? That is... I need to close that door as well. Okay. That is wild and crazy. I am being somewhat confused and disorganized right now. So I need like a piece of paper or something? I must have a piece of paper somewhere. How very strange of me. I mean, I did kind of go digital, but I am using the... I'm using the phone at the moment for phone things, for camera things. Yeah, I kind of just pulled this card randomly out of the stack. It's called a Grinning Ignis. And, yeah, the reason why I was like, huh, that's interesting, is, if you've noticed, the mana is like written on the other side here. It's got kind of a swoopy circuit. It's like a non-standard design, this card. Yeah. It is like, yeah, officially like your Wizards of the Coast stuff. It's 2/2. He has return Grinning Ignis to the owner's hand for one mountain right there, and add 2 colorless and 1 red to your mana pool. Play this ability only anytime you could play a sorcery, so in your main phase and your end step phase. And the flavor text says, take care what you offer the Ignis. Food, perhaps. Coins. But nothing flammable. Which is a Stoic village eccentric who said that. Yeah. But yeah, this design of this card is like, it's kind of new. It's kind of cool, kind of funky. As you know, with the bubbles, I do like these like round edges. I like the round design. It's great for cameras, great for bubbles. Yeah. I'll pop that one back in that box over there. Wait, no, it was from this box, wasn't it? It was from this box. There's a couple that are other ones that are this design. Yeah. So I haven't really made much progress in the actual sorting of these cards, chat. I've kind of just shown you like, oh, I already have like these cool decks. This is another starter deck, which we can go through. I don't know, guys. Do you want to keep going through starter decks, or do you want to like delve deep into like, you know, deep stuff? Into like, you know, what could I possibly have in this box here, like kind of. Because I just have like a whole lot of random cards. Oh, I have another like just big box of cards down here. I must have identified that this card right here is like pretty cool, because this, because I did put it in a foily sleeve. And I did mark it with the sticker in here. The sticker I put on the inside of the sleeve, but on the plastic side, not on the card, so that like when I played it, it didn't like instantly rub off or fall off. So this is Hypergenesis, which is a sorcery. And again, this is a Suspend. As I have been talking about all day, Suspends are awesome cards. I love the Suspend mechanic. However, this is a green card, so it is not in my main deck. It is not my in my red-white. I'm not really sure why it's here, honestly. Its ability is, starting with you, each player may put an artifact, creature, enchantment, or land card from his or her hand into play. Repeat this process until no one puts a card into play. So this is the Suspend on its cost 3 mana to get this to work. You need 1 colorless and 2 forests. Excuse me, cat. Excuse me, chat. It has been a long day. It's been a very long day. It's been a good day, but you know, been busy. So that's an interesting card. I think that, like, I don't often play green, but like, I do play Saprolings. Are they called Saprolings or are they called Sporlings? This is called Sporlings, I believe. I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna check that. Let's see. Are they saprolings or sporelings? They're saprolings. S-A-P-R-O-L-I-N-G. So saprolings. Saprolings? Wait, maybe there's both. Oh no, there's spore slingers. So there's spore slingers and saprolings. And I again realized I did not show you guys anything, did I? I totally failed at that. Window capture over here. There we go. Wait, where is it? Is it window capture? Can you see? Can you see it, chat? Yes, you can. Oh, I have to have it not minimized. Interesting. I'm learning things, chat. I'm learning things. It is called saproling. Saproling. Which is like tiny fungus plant base. So I do play these saprolings. Which obviously this green card, which allows you to keep putting creatures into play and enchantment. Well, mainly creatures. Put creatures, like all your creatures into play. That will make the saproling cards like grow like super quickly. So that's what that's good for. Yeah. So I don't really. Let's do this and not that. Yeah. I don't really know how to go about this because I've actually just like got a huge thinger of cards that are like, I don't even know where to start, you know what I mean, with the organizing of them. And the idea was just to go on stream and organize all of them. Apparently I just have a white deck. I just have one. Like, yeah, I just have all these decks. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. These are green and white. Like, I've just, like, strapped a bunch of these cards together like this. Red, white, sorted by mana cost. Yeah. Honestly, I don't really know how to go about this. Yeah, these are... I think I bought these cards because they're 1 mana red drops, and I figured, you know, I play red mana, so since I play red, they'd probably be useful somewhere, right? I don't even really know where to start. What's even in this? Why do I have a red sleeve? Oh, it is red. It's red and blue. Why do I even have a red and blue deck? So why do I have this purple deck? And why does it have Grumpy Cat? Why is it in a Grumpy Cat box? Like, no. No. I don't know why I have a... I don't even recognize this deck. This is so strange to me. And it doesn't look like there's anything particularly amazing about it. It looks like I used a ton of mana. Oh, ooh. I said nothing interesting and then I pulled something interesting. Hold on. Put that there. Put that back in the box. Because I don't want to lose the other cards. Don't fall on the floor. Don't hit me in the face, don't fall on the floor. Okay. Here we go. And I will hook up this camera. I'll hook up this camera. Let me just think. It's this one. And then this button. And the thing is, I do have to keep refreshing it. That's, yep. There we go. There we go. And then I completely forget how to do this. There we go. Chandra's Phoenix. How cool is this card? Like, it just looks cool. It is a foily. It is a foily. It is a rare. It is only 3 mana. Very decent mana economy. 1 colorless, 2 red. And it is flying, and it does have haste. And because it is a phoenix, it has this cool ability, as all the phoenixes tend to do. Whenever an opponent is dealt damage by a red instant or sorcery spell you control, or by a red planeswalker you control, return Chandra's Phoenix from your graveyard to your hand. For those who do not know, phoenixes in the Magic the Gathering card game tend to have the ability to come back from the graveyard. They, like, yeah, because, you know, the lore is, of course, the phoenix bird is able to, you know, resurrect itself upon death. Tends to be the general myth or folklore of phoenixes in general. So they tend to be able to come from the graveyard. I have seen a couple of them that go to the table, not your hand though. So, but I think most of them do go from the graveyard to your hand and then are able to be summoned, or like, so they get resurrected and then they're able to be summoned again. I am gonna see if that's worth stuffs. So we can go here, and we can go Chandra's Phoenix. Yes, it is an M15 Scryfall. It doesn't look like it's worth much. Let's see if anyone's actually selling it on eBay. Does not look like anyone's even selling it on eBay, which is interesting. I don't know if that makes it more rare or less rare. Or like what it's actually worth. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, people are selling it for about $2 US. Oh, they're not selling it in Australia. Well, there's that. Yeah. Okay, well, there's that. I'll turn that off now. I'm not sure, some of you may have seen, I have friends messaging me about, I think we were supposed to be watching Stranger Things at some point in time. So we're having a little bit of a, oh, I'm free on this day, and then somebody else is like, but I'm not free on that day, and then somebody else says, I am free on this day, and then, you know, it kind of goes round and round as it does, and it's like, oh, we're still trying to figure out when we're all actually going to be free to do that at the same time. But it's at the moment still kind of going like, oh, but I'm not free, but you know how it is. You know how it is, chat. It's like, which is why it's fantastic that I have a regular Dungeons and Dragons game that I have like every week at the same time, because that way I'm like, I know for sure that's what I'm doing on that day, and you know, when you do that as well, it's sort of like people can be, that they can plan around it, that they can go, yes, I will definitely be free that day, and then if somebody goes, oh, hey, let's do this on that day, you'll be like, nope, I'm already doing a thing. Yeah. So, this one, Shiv's Embrace. Oop. I accidentally... nope. Stop that. Okay, we're good. Left, right... tilted. Okay, yes. So this is called, I think it's easier if I hold it up, Shiv's Embrace. It's a 4 mana, 2 colorless, 2 red, or mountains. It's an enchantment aura. It is a uncommon with the silver symbol in the corner here. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has flying. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. What? This card exists? Remember, I showed you guys Gargidons. It could be a +2/+2 Gargidon that, you know, and has flying. It could be a flying Gargidon. And it doesn't have to use white to enchant it. And you can pump it. This card exists? I need more of these cards. Shiv's Embrace. Okay, let's go back to window. Let's go back here. Let's find Shiv's Embrace. Yes, MTG. Of course, MTG. What else would it be? People are selling them. You can buy a whole set of 4. Can I do it in foils? Let's get foils. People are selling them foil. And even as a foil, they are quite affordable. Yeah, I know what I'm buying later. Unless you guys beat me to it. My only thing is that it is 4 mana and it doesn't have any any kind of suspend or trickiness to, like, you know, make that cheaper. But still, okay, this means if my opponent has not figured out how to stop me on the 5th turn, they are getting a flying Gargudon to the face. Like, literally, they're gonna be hit in the face with a flying Gargudon that is, yeah, that is pumped. That's crazy and wild, and I'm happy and loving that. So, this one's not foil, so getting the foil ones will be an upgrade for me. And now I am glad that I went through Grumpy Cat box worth of cards. Happiness. Let me tell you, chat. People are like, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy MTG cards, and that's kind of the same thing. And there's probably an MTG card out there that's called happiness. I now have to look that up. That is something that clearly has to be looked up. MTG. I'm sure there has to be chat. Clue you in on the window. That's not MTG. That is, I think, a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I think that's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. What does okay. Now, I'm just wondering, can you guys see on my stream, are you able to see, like, view counts? Because I can't, honestly. I'm doing the thing where it's like, okay, so you can. So the important thing is there that we do not have enough people for me to open the Pal World pack, which I said I would do if I had like 10 people, which I kind of did. I did at one point, but it's looking like a Wednesday angle. So next Wednesday I will be opening the Pal World cards, which, I mean, they're clearly not Magic the Gathering, so we're not going to have them Magic the Gathering Day. We're going to have them Pal World Day. Pal World Day is Wednesdays. I'm actually thinking that, like, yeah, a lot of people seem to be quite happy to watch Pal World on a Wednesday. So we're going to go with that. Staff of Flame Magus, 3 mana artifact. This is a uncommon. Whenever you cast a red spell or a mountain enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. That is really useful. Again, the only reason it's not in my Gargudon deck, I believe, is because 3 mana to me was like, slows down the deck a little bit. Yeah. I mean, in the 3rd turn when you... No, it would still... It would slow down the deck a little bit. If it was like a 2 mana, then yeah, 100% would put it in there. But I am thinking... I think the reasoning of like why it wasn't in there. Okay, so this is a instant Chandra's Outrage. which is a 2 colorless 2 mountain right there, and it is an M14 flight instant. Chandra's Outrage deals 4 damage to target creature and 2 damage to that creature's controller. Chandra never believed in using her inside voice. Let's see. Christopher Muller is the artist. Yep. And as you can see, it actually clearly is like printed down the bottom in super fine print, Wizards of the Coast. Again, these are clues that like they're authentic cards. So if we go back to that Black Lotus listing, which I keep forgetting to share the screen with you. Yeah, if we go back to this listing, we go and we have to refresh it because clearly the images are not showing up. I mean, this one's going for significantly less, which sometimes makes it a little bit suspicious, but it is like it. But it doesn't say Wizards of the Coast right at the bottom, but the question is, when did they start doing that? When did they start printing it at the bottom? Because that could be a sign that it's actually authentic. So when did they start printing? Let's see if Google was able to figure out what my garbled question was. Because I am now questioning whether or not it's supposed to be there. Because all my cards which I authentically got like from buying from the actual vendors has it printed. So maybe it's at the top? No? So it not being printed anywhere is a little bit... Is that a sign though? Because remember, this card is worth so much because it was like a very, very, very old card. And as I explained a couple of times during this stream, that this white border, because they don't do the white borders anymore because they're all black borders now, this white border is an indication of it being authentic. Because there are counterfeit ones which have the black border, and there are also completely authentic reprints. The reprints are not worth as much, and but they are like but they are printed with the black borders. So if you see a black border, it's definitely not one that is worth the millions of dollars that it has been known to command. We have this one. Which looks like it's been graded, and I suppose if it's been graded, you would think that a professional would know. A professional would, like, notice something like that about whether or not it's supposed to have the Wizards of the Coast printed on it. So that could be an indication too that it is authentic. Do not quote me on that. Do not quote me on that. As I said, I mean, it's in a case that says that it's been authenticated, but, you know, do your due diligence if you are planning on spending a large amount. Do check out who graded it and how well they know what they're grading. And, you know, just notice, like, the little details, because those details are, like, it is like the small details that are the difference between a counterfeit and a real deal. But that is a, I mean, okay, this one's actually saying that it's a facsimile. And yeah, they are only selling it for $43.79. But you can already see the coloring is, like, literally all off. Not really sure why it would be, like, even, like, pretending to be a 10, because, like, you can already see how, like, off-centered this is. Like, it's very thick at the top and thin at the bottom. Yeah. So, but like I said, this is actually, like, it's a proxy. It's not, it's blurry. Yep. This was first proxy purchase and it's not what I thought. It's blurry and I wish I had shopped around more before I chose this one. The picture is actually way better than in person. Shipping was fast and was packaged great. And they've given it quite an average, because, I mean, clearly okay, so a proxy, for those who might not know, is that when you go in tournament, so that your card can't be damaged during play, particularly by an opponent that might be angry and take it out on your cards, you get to show the judges that you have a real one, and then use a proxy. So you're allowed to use a fake one in the actual tournament, as long as you can show the judges that you have the real one. That way you don't have to take it out of its PSA case. That way you don't have to unframe it. That way the card itself is kept safe. But the actual playing, you play with. So this must mean this person must have a real one if they're planning on using it for their tournaments, which is interesting in itself. But, you know, yeah. Or I mean, like, they might be in a tournament where it's, like, allowed to play, like, ones that are not, where you don't actually have to have the real deal. You're allowed to play something that is fake as long as you declare it. Which, again, always check the rules of the tournament that you're playing, because they they often have like, you know, different rules at different tournaments. I mean, for the most part, they're pretty consistent. But as I have shown, like over time as well, like some of the things that I was like, oh, you can't play a legendary, you can't put more than one legendary in the deck. But that, you know, updated later that like you can have it in your deck, they just can't be in play at the same time. So like things like that is like, they might have certain rules about proxies that were relevant at the time, that was like, oh, that's why that person was able to use a proxy for that tournament. And that could change over time. That could be like, oh, it was only for this particular tournament that was in this particular year or whatever. So I can't really make the assumption of whether or not they have one, but basically it is that you can, if you have like a particularly rare card, or you just straight up don't want to have your card damaged, you're allowed to use a fake card as long as you declare it as a fake card. And it is understood that you are playing it as if it is the real one. And of course it has to be completely approved by the judges before the tournament begins. Okay, let's see. How are we doing, chat? Got about 15 minutes to wrap up. So I don't want to like start like a whole new, going through a whole new pile of cards or a whole new deck. And like I said, I don't really even know where to start with this entire box of cards, because I do have a lot of them lying around in here that I wanted to go through, and I wanted to figure out if I should keep them or sell them or put them in decks and so forth, or whether I should actually frame them up. I wanted to even find out, like, you know, if I should keep this sealed. Like, what do you reckon? Is it worth keeping it sealed, or like, I mean, if somebody wanted to play like a white deck and they wanted a starter deck, would they only buy it if it is sealed? Or like, would collectors only be interested in it if it is sealed? Or should I just like rip it open and actually put it together with my red decks and like actually play it, you know? Again, I'd appreciate some advice from chat if you guys would like to put your opinion in my chat. If you would like to join my Discord and so forth. I do have links to things on my about page, I believe. I'm not sure if I have Discord yet. I might have to update that. I might actually... You know what? I can just Google. Google is your friend. Google is your friend. So I will share the window as I Google. Sealed starter deck. Misspelled deck completely. Deck. Sealed starter deck. MTG. Let's see if it's worth anything. Okay. Wow. Okay, sealed things are worth much more. Sealed starter deck. You know what? We can be even more particular. A Johnny Gold main. Great hero, absolutely wonderful. Let me tell you, as a as a tabaxi, I love that hero. Okay, his card itself, like his legendary card, is commands a pretty good price. It's $15, and obviously your foils and such are worth a little more. Not quite hitting that $50 mark yet, but you know, really quite close. Really quite close. He is a favorite hero. He is like one of the favorites. Like Chandra is one of the favorites, and Ajani is one of the favorites. And I think the blue guy is Jason MTG. Okay. I probably just spelt it wrong. Maybe it was J. Jace Braylon. Is that it? It's one of the wizards that is in the actual game. Yes, him. Jace Bellerin is a planeswalker. Mind mage. From Vern. I knew. So, I was just spelling his name horribly wrong because I was spelling it with a common S. How dare I? How could I stoop so low as to like spell it with an S? It is spelled with a J-A-C-E. J-A-C-E. Jace. Blue hero, Jace Bellerin. He's the blue hero. Blue team. Yay, blue team. This is Pocket Card Mod. Okay. Oh, that's the seller's name. That makes sense. Ungraded, but, you know, in excellent condition. Cool. Interesting that they did not grade it. That in itself is a little bit, But also, it does cost money to grade, so maybe they figured that even if it was, like, mint condition, they probably wouldn't fetch as good a price. And I mean, already looking at it, I'm like, the centering's slightly off, honestly. Like, it is clearly a little bit thinner on the left side and a little bit thicker on the right. So, I think he looked at it and was like, yeah, this is not a PSA 10. He's like, 8 or 9 at most, and that probably does not command, like, you know, the best price. But, as a Planeswalker or Johnny, I would still probably add that to my card, honestly. Might not buy it, but I'll look at it in my cart for a little while before I make any hasty decisions. Yeah, I'll do this as well. I'll actually just pop them in my cart and look at them later, because that way I won't accidentally flash my credit card details on stream. And I will, like, you know, be able to, like, actually think through whether or not I'm actually going to invest some money in it or not. And, I mean, if I'm going to get the Shiv's Embrace, I want them to be foil, so I'm just going to close out these windows where they're not foil. Because I think the foil just makes it look really cool. And I mean, if it's rare, I'm like, I must as well splurge a little more and get it foily. We don't need Tok Tok anymore. And Pyromancer Swath foil, lightly played. That does not look foil. Is it listed as foil? It's listed as foil, but it doesn't look like it. It says ungraded excellent. I'm guessing they just used a stock photo, because it, like, the background as well is saying that they used a stock photo rather than the photo of the actual item, which in itself is a little bit like, how trustworthy is this person if they're not even going to take a photo of the real deal? You know what I mean? Let's see if this one's any better. Again, they're saying foil, but they're not foil. Unless they think this thing in the corner counts as foil, which is not the case. But okay, this GameCube's Australia person seems to be selling a lot of things, and they're getting 99% positive. Like, they don't appear to have any bad reviews yet. They seem to have had a lot of reviews, so I mean, I guess people weren't upset if it's like the stock, like if the stock photo is just a stock photo and then you get like the real thing and it's like all foily and shiny and awesome. I guess you're not going to be upset at all because it would be foily. So I'm just again gonna just add that to cart so I remember that I was contemplating it. Yeah, and again my friends are like asking me if I'm gonna come watch Stranger Things with them, so we are going to turn off that. Yeah, well, that has been, it has been great. It has been great chat. We have figured out some filming stuff with the cameras. We don't need to turn this on anymore. Yeah, I'm super happy that I've finally got this camera to hook up to OBS. Because especially on Monday when we do the painting of the miniatures, because this camera is just so much clearer with the small fine details. So and yeah, I know I keep saying no, don't, I'm not sponsored yet, and so I should stop giving like freebie sponsorships, but I gotta say, this phone, I studied film studies, so I've got a degree in film production, and we learned all about lenses and sensor plates, and like digital enhancement and so forth. And so when I went to buy a phone, I did my due diligence with the research, and for the cost of this phone, this particular model of Android Samsung Galaxy, it has a very good camera. Like this has like it shoots low light really well, it shoots macro really well, which was why I got it, because I was like, I'm studying film, because at the time I was like, I'm studying film, so I'm gonna have like a bunch of assignments and I'll have to like do it at really high quality, and so I was impressed when I looked at the stats. I'm like going, they managed to cram this into a phone? That's fantastic! Because like, you know, the sensor plate itself, which is like one of the most important parts of the camera, right? The digital cameras, the sensor plate itself is actually a really decent size for a phone. Like, it's, I mean, obviously, like, you know, bigger, chunkier cameras that are like, you know, pro cameras will have a bigger sensor plate. But, like, the size of the one that they've managed to cram into this phone is actually pretty impressive, that they actually fit it in there. And the fact that, yeah, it has all these lenses, like, all of them, and that the software, like, actually blends them together really well. I was just, that's why I got it, because I was like, it will do the job. It will do the job super well. And that's why I'm glad that I finally figured out how to get it hooked up to OBS, because now I can have the webcam with my beautiful face. And you can see the tiny miniatures that I paint, which I do on Mondays. So please come join me on Mondays for the miniature painting. Wednesdays for Pal World playing, which I promise I will stick to Pal World stuff. I promise I'll stick to Pal World stuff. So yeah, please come join me next week for those things. And you can check on my stream schedule about when that is for your time zone in your country, because I am in Australia, which is like, our time is like all upside down and yesterday. So yeah, it gets a little bit crazy. So I'll be like saying that, oh, it's Monday, and for you it might be Tuesday. So by all means, look at the schedule on Twitch, which they have now. Like, they previously did not. They previously did not have it adjusted for people's local time, but they apparently have, like, fixed that, and that was a recent change. So now it does, in fact, show the time for your local time. So do check that out. And, like, yeah, that might be good for, like, checking out your other Twitch streamers too. Like, you know, it helps when you want to plan out, like, you know, your fun time and your work time and your study time, and your raids and all, and your watch parties. Like I said, my friends have been pinging me all night about, like, when are we gonna watch Stranger Things next? So yeah, it does help with the plannings, and time management it's a powerful thing when you master it, you know. I say, as a big fan of the Timespiral and Suspend mechanics. Yeah, so I hope to see you all next time, and have a wonderful weekend. I know I'm already super excited about my weekend. I'll be working. It'll be nice to be on a film set again. I haven't been on one in, like, quite a long time, especially since I've been spending so much time doing streaming type things, which, I mean, I guess I don't know if that counts as a film set, because, like, you are kind of still using cameras and lights and all that. But this one is going to be for a documentary, and so I am super excited to be on that one. And, you know, like, an actual live, like, you know, film set, you're definitely going to be, like, running around more. You're not like, just sitting there at the desk talking to people. So I'm super excited about that this weekend, which I guess I will tell you all about on Monday, if you do, well, Monday or Tuesday where you are. I will tell you in next stream, where I will be painting the minis with a much better camera now, so you can actually see stuff. Okay, have a great weekend. See ya. Bye.